have some very lovely books and some even more lovely clothes to show you today, and I'm very excited, as always. I'm always excited to film my videos, and I've missed filming. I haven't filmed for a little bit. I think it's been 11 or 12 days, and that is because so many exciting things have been happening in my family. So my sister gave birth to her beautiful baby boy, and that was her first child and my first nephew, which I am just over the moon about. I am in love with that little baby so much, and my sister was such a strong, beautiful mother about the whole process, and her husband, they've just been doing such a fantastic job. They're already the best parents ever, and I have loved watching their family grow. And so her giving birth was so incredibly exciting, and my husband Leon was here visiting. If you don't know, he's been in England doing a master's in computer science, and that's finishing up a little bit, but he was able to come home, or to come to New York for a couple weeks, and he was here for when the baby was born. And so I really wanted to take the time to focus on my family, my sister, my husband while he's here, and so that's why I haven't filmed too much recently, but I'm so excited to be back. I have some new books to show you because Leon and I did a little bit of book shopping. We also had our 1-year wedding anniversary, and I have some beautiful dresses to show you, including the one that I'm wearing right now from one of my favorite clothing brands. So I thought I would talk to you guys about the clothes first, and then I'll move on to the books. So the clothes that I want to tell you about are from one of my favorite brands absolutely ever. I've worked with them before showing you some of their pieces, and I'm so thrilled to be showing you more of their pieces in this video. The brand is Simple Retro, and they really do such a beautiful job with combining classic styles of clothing with a more modern feel or a modern twist. And every time I wear one of their clothing pieces, I feel like I am in a period drama. I feel like I am a main character in a classic novel, and that is one of the best feelings absolutely ever. I love this dress so much. It even has pockets. I will give you the names of each dress in the video on the screen, and I will also be linking each clothing item. They have amazing sales going on all the time, incredible, beautiful designs, and their clothing pieces are the best quality clothing pieces I own. If you guys don't know, I went to FIT in New York City, which is the Fashion Institute of Technology. I actually started as a fashion design major, and then I switched my major to illustration with a minor in writing, as well as a lot of art history courses. And so I love sewing. I've made a lot of clothes in my time. I can really tell when a clothing item is made well. I really don't do sponsorships very often. They aren't sponsoring this video, but they did send me these clothes for free as gifts, so I want to be very transparent with that. If I did design clothes, they would look very much like the clothes from Simple Retro. This first dress is probably my favorite, which is why I wanted to wear it for the video, although I love the other 3 dresses that I picked out as well. This one, I love the color. I love navy blue, the beautiful detailing in the fabric, the little tie in the front. I am petite. I am almost 5'1". I'm really 5 foot. When I have shoes on, I'm more close to 5'1". And dresses are really hard to shop for me because they're often very, very long. And thank goodness I know how to sew. I can hem them very easily. But I don't even have to hem these dresses because they fit me perfectly. So I got an extra small because I am very petite, just for size reference. It goes right down to my upper ankle area, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the cinching, I love the fabric and the material. I love this little tie detailing. It really makes me feel like I am a character in a novel, in a classic novel, and you guys know how much I love classics. So I am in love with this dress. It is, I think, my favorite of the ones that I picked out, but I also really love the other ones that I got as well, so I'll show you those. The next dress is this one, which is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of in a similar style with a tie in the front. This beautiful material as well is so gorgeous. It has a bit of a texture. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell. And then there is ruching or cinching all in the back. And so it has really nice give to these dresses. What I like is that there's a lot of room to be comfortable because it's not super skin tight and almost restricting. These dresses are so comfortable. They almost feel like nightgowns because they're so comfortable. The sleeves are a bit puffed and they come with really beautiful buttons on the sleeves as well. Again, it's a similar length where I don't have to hem it. It stops around my ankle area. This one also has pockets, which I just love. It looks so beautiful and it makes me feel really beautiful. And I think that that's something really important about clothing, is to wear things that feel like you and that make you feel confident, because then when I feel good, then it just makes my day so much better. Not really in like a how people perceive me, but just in how it makes me feel. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well. These dresses make me feel really good, really confident, and like I can conquer what needs to get done and what I want to do. This next one is also absolutely stunning, and the detail, it goes all around the front and the back, which is absolutely incredible. There's lace on the sleeves as well, and there are ties on the side of this dress. Often on dresses, ties will be in the front or in the back, but this dress has 2 ties on the sides, which I just love so much. And you can really dictate what tightness you want for the dress, which I just love. It's absolutely beautiful. And it also is lined, so it's not see-through, which I very much appreciate. And then there's this beautiful embroidery on the front. I have to iron it. I haven't ironed it yet, but I absolutely adore this dress. I am honestly so blown away by the quality of these dresses. And you guessed it, it has pockets. We love pockets. So yes, that is the other dress. Again, same length. It's about around my ankle area or maybe my calf. The last dress is another favorite. It has quite a 50s vibe. This is the dress. Let me move the tag. I haven't taken it off yet. I just tried it on once, so I'm gonna try it on again soon. As you can see, it has a gorgeous collar with lace detailing around the edge, and then it goes into a wrap style dress. And on the sides, it has beautiful, beautiful buttons and a very long tie, so you can tie it around the front, around the back, on the side. Oh, it also has a clasp so that the wrap stays in place. Inside in the lining, it's hard to show you just holding it, but because it's a wrap dress, to prevent it from opening and showing everything inside the dress, it has this tie on the inside so that the lining covers your legs, which I really appreciate, because if the wind blows, then you might have a Marilyn Monroe moment. The material is really beautiful as well. It's very flowy, which I really like, and I love how it cinches around my waist. It's very, very comfortable. I love the tie detailing. The lining is so beautiful and well made. And yeah, the buttons on the side, the wrap style, the collar, it's beautiful. And I love it so much, and I can't wait to wear it for many years to come. That was the last dress that I wanted to show, and like I said, I will link each dress in the description box. I can't recommend checking out Simple Retro enough. Thank you so much, Simple Retro, for sending me these pieces. I adore you, and I am just so excited about my dresses. Let's move on to the books. I think the first 2 I want to show you are the books that Leon and I gave to each other for our 1-year wedding anniversary. I can't believe we've been married for a whole year. It feels like it's been 10, but also like it's been 2 months. Very, very weird how time works and how time feels. But an idea that we had separately, and then we ended up having the same idea and mentioning it to each other. We thought it would be really special if every year for our anniversary we got each other a book, and then every year of our marriage we could see that shelf of anniversary books grow. So you can count the books and see how many years we've been married. And Leon had the same idea of what kind of books we should give each other, and we thought it would be really special if we got a certain special edition of a book. And we both thought of Folio Society. Folio Society, if you don't know, is an incredible company that makes really beautiful, high-quality special editions of modern books, nonfiction books, classics, children's classics. They also are all illustrated and designed by incredible illustrators. So we each picked a Folio Society book for one another, and we thought it would be fun if one of the goals was to read that book before our next anniversary. I love this idea. I'm so glad that Leon is bookish as well, because it just makes life so much fun and we get to share stories together, and it's just been fantastic. And this year of being married, this first year of being married, has been such an adventure, and I don't want to get too corny, but I'm just so grateful for the partner that I have. The book that I got Leon, he left it here because he didn't want to travel with it. I have been telling him about this book for years. It's one of my favorites, and I really want Leon to read it. So I thought this would be an amazing book to have because it's one of my favorites. I really feel like he'll love it as well, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So I felt like it checked off all the boxes, and when I gave it to Leon, he loved it. He's so excited. He's actually currently reading the book, and I'm currently rereading it in audiobook form. I've never listened to the audiobook before, but I'm already loving it. That is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Look at this edition. So the slipcase is a tree with a knot in it. I don't want to say why, but it's very, very significant for the story. Then in the knot of the tree, you can see Atticus, Scout, and Jem. Again, I think it's brilliant, but even more brilliant, also the back, is the tree design as well. When you open the slipcase... Are you joking? Are you joking? You're joking. When I saw this, I knew that this had to be the book for Leon. So, as you can see, there's a face, a silhouette of a face, and that is supposed to symbolize the face of Tom Robinson, which is one of the main characters in the story. And then there's also a mockingbird, which I'm sure you're able to see as well. This design is incredible. Absolutely incredible, and I can't get over it. The spine is also absolutely beautiful. We have some feathers here as well to signify or symbolize the mockingbird. These end papers with the very narrative illustrations on them. There are scenes from the book on here, which I just love so much. And these books are so well made and such a luxury. Like, being a book lover, having a book that you love in a Folio Society edition just feels like, I say this about my Penguin cloth bounds, it feels like a trophy book. Like, it feels like a trophy. I don't know how else to describe it. But they're also really oh, here's Leon's bookmark. He's using my Penguin bookmark for his bookmark. I want to show you an illustration that maybe isn't too spoilery. I think that one's okay. Sorry for the glare, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And look at that illustration on the inside. Oh. It is illustrated by Nate Swartzer. Swartzer? I'm sorry, Nate, if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly. How incredible. So talented, so incredibly talented. Oh my gosh, Calpurnia. So beautiful. That almost looks like the dress that I just showed you. Not a wrap dress, but it looks quite similar. That's so funny. Like I said, this is one of my favorite books of all time. I know Leon's really enjoying it, which I'm so glad. And I am reading it for the third time now, but this is the first time that I'm listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook that I'm listening to is narrated by the actress Sissy Spacek, and she's doing such an incredible job, and I'm loving the audiobook, and I will keep you updated with Leon's thoughts and my thoughts on my reread. But anyway, how stunning. Are you ready for the brilliance? Jaw-dropping. Every time it's jaw-dropping. Then the book that Leon got me for our anniversary, it was such a surprise and it felt so special. So it is Winnie the Pooh by A.A. Milne with decorations by E.H. Shepard, and it is the Folio Society's edition, which is absolutely gorgeous. So why he got me Winnie the Pooh is because I grew up with my parents reading me Winnie the Pooh my entire childhood. My sister and I loved the Disney adaptations and we loved reading the book. And so Winnie the Pooh has a very special place in my family's hearts, and I've been telling Leon about Winnie the Pooh for years now, and I always tell him, we read Paddington last year together and we really enjoyed it, but I didn't grow up reading Paddington, and so when we were reading Paddington we also read Bramley Hedge together. I really love children's literature and I also love sharing it with Leon, and he really loves it as well. And anyway, I've been telling him about Winnie the Pooh for years, and then my sister was pregnant and her theme for her nursery at home, her baby's bedroom, was Winnie the Pooh themed. For her baby shower, she got a bunch of Winnie the Pooh themed items, clothes, blankets, toys, sheets, and I got her a bunch of Winnie the Pooh clothes, and I also got her a really beautiful leather-bound edition of Winnie the Pooh. And Leon thought that it would be a really great symbol if he got me Winnie the Pooh as well, of the year that our nephew was born, with all the Winnie the Pooh themed items, that I got a Winnie the Pooh edition as well, so that I could remember that the first anniversary was right before our nephew was born. And it was just a really sweet symbol and a really sweet idea. So I'm so glad that Leon had that idea and thought of that. So the spine is beautiful, the slipcase, and then look at the cover. Oh my gosh. Sorry if I'm rambling a lot. I just like sharing the background of books and the meaning behind them, because it's not just a book haul like, oh, I got all these books, and each book is special in its own way, and I hope I'm able to share that and express that. But anyway, how gorgeous is this cover? It has different illustrations from the book as well. I love E.H. Shepard as an illustrator. He's one of my favorite illustrators. I wish E.H. Shepard could see this and A.A. Milne could see this, because it is absolutely incredible. And the paper is unbelievable. It feels like watercolor paper and it looks like watercolor paper. It has a texture to it. And then what they did is they really made it have a watercolor feeling. So all of the color and all of the paint looks like it has texture, which is so cool, because a lot of editions of Winnie the Pooh have that glossy paper that almost diminishes the look of a texture to the illustration. I don't know if you'll be able to see the texture of the paper, but the illustrations, like I said, they have that watercolor feeling, like that very classic, almost as if this book was filled with original paintings, like they weren't prints or printed versions of the paintings. It looks like the illustrations are just painted onto the pages. It's unbelievable, and the texture of the paper is so nice. Oh, it's gorgeous, and it's so nostalgic. I love this book so much, and I'm so glad and grateful that Leon got it for me for our 1-year anniversary. Here's a little close-up of the cover, because it is just too beautiful not to show you all the details. Look at that. Oh. I am so honored to have received this book, and it is such a special book in my collection now, such a special edition. Once again, stunning, absolutely stunning. I also really appreciate that these books come in slipcases, because when you're spending more money on a more luxury book, I think it's nice to make sure that it stays protected and that the sun doesn't damage the coloring of the covers or anything. I really appreciate that it comes in a slipcase. So those are the two books, the 2 anniversary books, and I can't wait to see our collection grow over the years of our marriage. I think that it's just such a special tradition to make. Also, I forgot to mention, Leon and I started reading Winnie the Pooh together, and we're going to keep reading it over the next year. So, very excited about that. The next book I want to tell you about is a book that I bought for myself. Well, actually, my parents gave Leon and I 2 gift cards, one for each of us, for Easter to Barnes & Noble. And this was the book that I picked to use my gift card for. This book just keeps popping up for me, and I just have this draw that I need to read it, and so I didn't own it and I wanted to pick it up, and I love this edition. It is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. And I am honestly really surprised that I haven't read this yet because I feel like it's such a staple. I feel like everyone who reads this book really enjoys it. And this is the 75th anniversary edition. It says, the beloved American classic about a young girl's coming of age at the turn of the 20th century. I believe it's about a young girl who grew up in Ireland, but also at a very young age she moved to Brooklyn. So she had her adolescence, very young childhood in Ireland, and then she moved to Brooklyn, and this is about her growing up in a new place. And I don't know too much else, but I'm really excited to read this book because it seems like such a Carolyn book, and I don't even know why or how to explain why I feel that way. My grandmother grew up in Italy and then she moved to America when she was about 23 after she met and married my grandfather, who was from Long Island. And my other grandmother moved from Italy to America when she was very young. I want to say like 5 or 6. So I really like the idea of an immigration type story, especially moving from someplace in Europe across the Atlantic to America. So I'm really excited to read this one, and I feel like I'm going to love it. I know so many people who love it, and we will see how soon I get to this book. I would really like to read it maybe in the autumn of this year. We shall see. The next books that I picked up I got from a secondhand bookshop near me, and they are such cool editions. The first ones that I picked up, these are all, like I said, secondhand, and they are these really incredible editions of the Narnia books. The first, well, it's 2, 3, and 4. So the second book, I believe the first book in the Narnia series is The Magician's Nephew, which I've only read The Magician's Nephew and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I would really love to read the whole series, so I was really excited to see that they had these really cool editions of them. These editions are from HarperCollins, I believe from the 1990s. So this is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which is the second book. And then there is The Horse and His Boy, which is the third book. And then there is Prince Caspian, which is the fourth book. I apologize for the glare, but aren't they so cool? And I really love tiny mass market paperbacks, especially if they're vintage. I should specify, I really love vintage mass market paperbacks. I just feel like they have such a charm to them, and I love a book that feels charming. And they were each, I believe, like $4.50, which really isn't that bad for these really cool editions. And they're in great condition, and I love supporting my local indie bookshop. So I was more than happy to get these and add these to my vintage mass market paperback editions. So love these so much. Like I said, I really love Narnia. C.S. Lewis is such a great author, and I love the Narnia series. Narnia has one of my favorite dedications of all time, and maybe I'll read it to you, just in case you haven't heard it. I think you need to. You need to hear it. Everyone needs to hear this dedication. To Lucy Barfield. My dear Lucy, I wrote this story for you, but when I began it, I had not realized that girls grow quicker than books. As a result, you are already too old for fairy tales, and by the time it is printed and bound, you will be older still. But someday you will be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. You can then take it down from some upper shelf, dust it, and tell me what you think of it. I shall probably be too deaf to hear and too old to understand a word you say, but I shall still be your affectionate godfather, C.S. Lewis. Oh my gosh, it gets me every time, Number 1, that's one of the most beautiful dedications I've ever read. Number 2, I am of the opinion that no one is ever too old for fairy tales, but the sentiment is gorgeous, and I hope that we all are of the opinion that we're never too old for fairy tales. We're never too old for stories for children, because even though we get older, we're always the children that we used to be, no matter how old we are. Anyway, I am so happy about these editions. I was so thrilled when I saw them. They're so cool, and I can't wait to keep reading the series. That's something I really want to do, so I'll probably be reading them from these, although I'll be very careful because I want to make sure that I take good care of them. Speaking of another really cool mass market paperback, Leon also really loves mass market paperbacks. He picked up Herman Hesse's Magister Ludi, which it says recently published as The Glass Bead Game. So apparently you can no longer get this book under the title of Magister Ludi. You can only get it under the title The Glass Bead Game. So he was really excited because he loves Herman Hesse. He was really excited to find this edition because it's super rare. And also it is from the publisher Bantam Books. I have so many mass market, vintage mass markets from the publisher Bantam. They're such cool covers. They have the coolest cover designs. And how awesome is this one? I just think it's so cool. Like, no one does covers like this anymore, and I think that that's a real shame. So this one is awesome. Leon was so excited about it. I really don't know what it's about. Let's see. It doesn't say what the book is about on the back. This new translation is as majestic and contemporary as its content. The award-winning translators Richard and Clara Winston have captured Herman Hesse, the author of Steppenwolf and Damien, at the height of his creative and prophetic powers, and this book is the key to a full understanding of his thought. Wow. I would like to read this as well. I read Siddhartha from Herman Hesse last year, and I really enjoyed it. Leon read Steppenwolf recently and really enjoyed it. He also read the Penguin Archives, I forgot what it's called. He read the new Penguin Archives book that was by Herman Hesse and loved it, absolutely loved it. So he is really enjoying Hesse's work and was really excited to see this one. And I'm also really excited to read more of his work as well. Amazing cover, really cool find, and Leon was very excited to get this one. The last two books that I picked up at the secondhand bookshop are from the same Italian author, and I'm really excited about these. They're both from Europa Editions, and that is Donatella di Pietrantonio. That is A Girl Returned and A Sister's Story. These editions are gorgeous. Look at this cover. I just want to take a moment to admire these beautiful covers. I love Europa Editions so much. They publish a lot of Italian literature, including Elena Ferrante, which if you guys have been following me this year, I read and fell in love with the My Brilliant Friend series. I've been reading a lot more Italian literature this year, and this is the main reason why I wanted to pick these two up. So a few months ago, my friend Evelyn, who also loves My Brilliant Friend, told me about this book, and I think she said the people that like My Brilliant Friend also really like this book, or Elena Ferrante has mentioned that she likes this book, or they like this book. I'm not really sure, I don't remember, I'll have to ask Evelyn, but first is A Girl Returned, in a pitch-perfect rendering by Elena Ferrante's translator Anne Goldstein. This prize-winning novel of mothers and daughters, family and fortune is set against the stark, beautiful landscape of Abruzzo, I believe, in central Italy. I should double-check my pronunciation. A Girl Returned possesses rare, expressive intensity and propulsive readability that has earned it countless adoring readers and many prestigious literary prizes. Without warning or explanation, a 13-year-old girl is taken from the family she has always thought of as her own and sent to live with strangers. Okay, it keeps going, but I don't know if I want to read too much. I don't want to be spoiled. This book also isn't that long. It's exactly 170 pages, so I don't want to know too much, but this sounds really interesting. It's translated by Anne Goldstein, who translates the My Brilliant Friend, has translated the My Brilliant Friend books, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm always excited about more Italian literature. The next book is A Sister's Story, and this one says, a spellbinding and moving story about family, memory, love, sisters, and the relationships that define us. It says more, but I think that's all that I want to know about it before going in. I am so excited about this one. It sounds fantastic just from that little blurb or description, and I love this cover. So I'm also really glad that these are on the shorter side because I feel like that will make me feel encouraged to read them sooner. I love big books, but shorter books are a little bit more approachable, or I feel like I have more opportunity to fit them in amongst my other reading plans. The last book I want to show you is kind of funny. So a couple of videos of mine ago, I went to my library's little used bookshop because I dropped off some books that I no longer wanted to hold on to, and they basically have this system where you can donate your books and then they resell all the donated books, and all the money that the bookshop makes goes towards funding and helping fund the library and different programs and things. I love supporting my library. I love going to my library. I love using my library. I think libraries are one of the most incredible, special, important places we have ever as human beings. And last time I went to the library, in that video, I flipped through a book, but I didn't buy it. And then I got a bunch of comments from you guys saying, you should have bought that book, or if I were you, I would have bought that book. So I went back and I bought the book, and I knew I was this close to buying it, but I don't know why for some reason I didn't, because I've heard a lot of great things about it. A Sand Country Almanac and Sketches Here and There by Aldo Leopold, with an introduction by Barbara Kingsolver. Barbara Kingsolver wrote Braiding Sweetgrass, which I've read and really enjoyed. She also wrote Gathering Moss, which I haven't read, but I would like to. I really love nature nonfiction, and this is another beautiful example of, I feel like this one feels very classic. I've heard many things over the years about A Sand Country Almanac, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up when I saw it there, but thankfully when I went back, Leon and I went while he was here, and it was still there, so I picked it up. So I hope you guys are as happy as I am that I also picked it up. As you can see, it also has really beautiful illustrations accompanying the text, which I think is so wonderful. And they're beautifully, beautifully done. And I love that it can accompany what you're reading about, being able to see the illustrations and to see the different animals. So I'm thrilled to finally have this book after not picking it up that first time. I immediately regretted not picking it up, and I'm thrilled to now have it as part of my nature nonfiction collection, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. So here are all the books that I wanted to tell you about. I hope you really enjoyed seeing the new additions to my collection, and that you enjoyed seeing the new clothing items that I recently was gifted from Simple Retro. So again, I will link the clothing items in the description. I can't recommend checking out Simple Retro enough, and I would love to know what you think of the books that I showed. Have you read any of them? Have you also acquired any new books yourself that you're excited about? I would love to hear, as always, all of your bookish thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and being here, and I will see you again very soon in another video, and as always, happy reading!